The government's intergenerational report asserts that a rise of 2 degrees would reduce economic output over the next 4 decades by up to $423 billion. Meanwhile, Net Zero Australia says $1.5 trillion in spending is needed by 2030. These are some really big numbers. Scott, how much of the way that the government is using the report is really just about justifying their preconceived views on what has to be done on climate?
That's a great way of putting it, Amanda, and I'm so glad you put the two numbers together, because going back 20 years, right back to Lord Stern, there's been this effort to create scary numbers about the cost of climate change. So that report talks about $400 and something million, but it also says that the Australian economy over the next 40 years at reasonable growth rates will grow by about 2.5 times. So 2.5 times on an economy that's about $2 trillion now. Suddenly, that number in proportion doesn't look that great. A gap we could easily close if we just got serious about economic growth and removing the barriers to investment in this country. And on the other hand, you have the zealots from Net Zero Australia trying to justify $1.5 trillion of real money to avoid a potential difference of $400 and something million 40 years from now. This is why the economics, whenever they turn to economics, it never actually adds up, and they have to create these scare campaigns around it because it cannot be economically justified.